10 reasons why we're so excited about being in the part of this company and being in this part of the world. Number one is that we're in Quebec. To date, there's been over 200 million ounces produced in the Abitibi Greenstone Belt. In the last 5 years, there's been north of $10 billion of M&A activity. We enjoy exploration tax credits, flow-through financing, and incredible skilled labor all around us. Number two, we have incredible infrastructure and nearby mines and deposits. So if you look at the middle, you'll see our mine is located right in the center there. To the northwest, we have Detour, which was just taken over at the end of last year for just around $5 billion. In 2013, the Casa Berardi mine was acquired for $796 million. In addition to that, we have past producing gold mines nearby, just to the south and to the east. And Veza I'll talk about in a minute as to why we're excited about some of the drilling we're doing and its relationship to Veza. Three, we're not a pure greenfield play. We have a large established gold resource already, nearly 3 million ounces, and we just completed a pit-constrained and underground mineral resource estimate that we put out last September, October. Four, we are essentially royalty-free, and this is very important. We have just around 100,000 ounces out of the 3 million ounces that we have in our deposit that are subject to a royalty. This is very unusual in the area. If you look at the Casa Berardi mine and others, Canadian Malartic, they have many percent higher than that across all of their ounces. Number six, we undertook a lot of internal, what I'll call less exciting work, but very important work to understand the geology of our deposit. And that has enabled us to look at ways of targeting where we're going next. And it has produced an incredible fruit. We believe that we're focusing on a subset of our total contained ounces, and we think this could lead to a positive economic study that we'll be completing later on this year. The 3D model that we completed was the first 3D model ever completed at this project, and this project has been known about since the mid-'70s. What this led to, importantly, Fred's great work at site, was targeting one of the best holes we ever drilled. So about last week, Azimuth came up with 100 meters at 3 grams. Their best hole that we came up with last year, we put it out to the market, was 50 meters of just under 3 grams and another 25 meters at 2.8. We are undergoing a drilling campaign right now to test right in that same area. So we are highly confident that we think it's possible that we'll come up with something very similar. And in this market, in this environment, that's the thing that can actually move the needle. So we have a significant resource expansion potential. You look at, this is how our deposit sits at our project. We have just around 389 square kilometers of ground. Those are some of the expansion areas circled there that we're testing. And then in the gap areas too, where you see very little drilling, we've proven that some work in those areas. If you see the Nika zone up to the upper left area there, this is something we tested, and we were able to connect some of those dots, and we think that there's incredible potential for expanding the resource based on filling in some of those gaps. Here's another graph that shows you what it looks like as it sits today. This is where we're looking at below. The RPA conducted our resource estimate update, which we put out. They said in the report that they think there's another 500,000 to 1.5 million ounce potential for further underground resources. We think that it actually can go much further than that. As an example, Canadian Malartic's mineralization extends down to 1.4 kilometers. Vertical depth, right now we're in the 300 to 400 meters average. We haven't even begun to figure out what exactly is that depth. We haven't found the source rock. So again, 8, we have the potential, I think, for some great new discoveries. And in addition to continuing to just understand, get our hands around what we have and look at putting a PEA out to figure out how we get this out of the ground, we think it would be a little bit naive for us to not go after some of the new exploration potential. So as I said, we have just under 400 square kilometers on our property package. We're right on the Casa Berardi break, 55 kilometers of strike. There's multiple new greenfield targets that we've uncovered, and we'll continue to test for new gold discoveries in addition to looking at how we put a PA around our existing deposit. So just a few notes on what our greenfield discovery ideas are. We've completed an IP work to the east, which is close again to that Veza deposit I spoke about a little while ago. We're going to be testing that now, and we think that it may host something. And Veza is about 6 grams, I believe, over 500,000 ounces. We're talking really high-grade rock that actually is being produced nearby, and we're going after some of the things that actually move the needle. So we have an incredible database. 240,000 meters of drilling has been done at this site so far. To put that in perspective, we're trading at around $20-something million market cap. It's $60 million of drilling that's in the bag, so to speak, that's been done in this project to date. We have north of $4 million in cash, and so relatively speaking, I think we're sitting in a pretty good situation. Number 9, I think something that everyone's paying attention to now, we're in a rising gold market. I think also the M&A cycle is upon us. We are in conversations with many parties, and we will continue to be. And I think that this year may be a year for mining actually to come back and for gold to really show its face. Some people say at 1,300, if we get to 14, things are going to change. If we get to 15, things are going to change. I think a lot of people are saying that $2,000 gold is definitely in the near horizon, potentially, and I think that we could stand to benefit from that. So we put a news release out this morning saying that drilling is underway. Fred can talk to you about and in detail why we're so excited about that. Again, we're looking around an area that proved very interesting results last year. That was 50 meters of over 3 grams, or just under 3 grams, 2.8, I think it was, another 26 meters of around the same grade. So this is what we're going after right now. This is on the 531 zone. And if you're interested to learn more, again, please stop by the booth and look at the press release we put out this morning. So this year, Q1, Q2, we're going to have a lot of results coming out around this drilling. So watch the space. And I think there'll be ample catalyst, I would say, in the next quarter or two to make an interesting story to watch. So some of the key takeaways: we are in a world-class jurisdiction, established resource, and with great infrastructure. We have a management team that has a lot of history and experience around this area. I came from the Ivanhoe Mines world, worked with Robert Friedland for over 10 years. We look a lot like an earlier stage Canadian Malartic, we think, with significant upside. And we're working to bring an economic study to the project.